request everyone to maintain some ground rules. First of all, choose a quiet location for avoiding potential distraction. Use headphone for avoiding echoing. Stay muted if you are not speaking. Those are the ground rules. I would like to request everyone to follow these. And now, to conduct the meeting, I would like to invite our area director, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda.
Thank you so very much, Toastmaster Faisal Muhammad Ibrahim. He is playing the role of the tech moderator today, in fact. And today he forgot to introduce himself, so let me introduce him. He's also the Vice President membership of Chittagong University Toastmasters Club. Okay, so welcome all our distinguished and lovely members of Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club. I'm so happy to see all of you together, and we are really glad that we have almost completed. In fact, we have 19 members on board for Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club, and one more member to go. And we have already know who's the 20th member. We are just yet to receive the payment of the 20th member. So I can say that we are done with 20 official charter members of Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club. So congratulations to all of you, all you wonderful charter members. You are going to be known as the charter members of the first ever Toastmasters Club of Cox's Bazar. So congratulations to all, and a big round of applause for all of you. So we have almost completed the first step, which was to recruit 20 charter members. The second step, before we proceed or before we process all the chartering documents, is to finalize the executive committee. We are already working towards it because I have already sent out the nomination form, and I have already received a lot of nominations. Today is the deadline. I'm reminding all our members, if you still want to nominate yourself for any executive committee post, you can do so by 12 a.m. tonight. And after that, I will stop accepting any nominations, and then the nominating committee will proceed with further steps for towards the election. And then we will also announce when, how, and in what way we are going to conduct the election for electing the executive committee of Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club. So what is the third step? The third and the most important step now is our demo meeting, which I have already informed that we are going to have the first demo meeting of Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club on the 26th of September. That is the next Saturday, 8 p.m. exactly around this time. So in order to conduct the demo meeting, we need to be trained, and we need to know how we can conduct the demo meeting, right? And the demo meeting, as per our plan, we want majority of the role players and speakers to be from your club, from the chartering members, from the charter members of Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club. And so we need to know how we can conduct this meeting. The first meeting, the demo meeting, will definitely be held online. So today we've all gathered here to basically learn what are the important meeting roles and responsibilities of a club meeting, and what is the procedure in which we actually conduct a meeting. I'm sure most of you have attended at least one Toastmasters meeting so far. Is there anyone who has not attended any Toastmasters meeting so far? Please raise your hand using the raise hand icon. If you haven't seen a Toastmasters meeting at all, not even one demo meeting or not even a single online meeting, use the raise hand icon. I would like to see if there is anyone who has not attended a meeting. Dr. Shaheen, have you attended a meeting before? Okay, So I think Dr. Shaheen has not attended a meeting. So that means we need to go very much in detail. I'm going to speak very much in I will try to explain what happens in a Toastmasters Club meeting from the beginning till the end, so that all our members, including Dr. Shaheen, who hasn't attended any meeting so far, will get a good idea about what happens in a Toastmasters Club meeting. So let me first begin with the structure of our meeting. As most of you are aware that a Toastmasters Club meeting is segmented into 3 parts, namely the prepared speeches, the impromptu or the table topics, and finally the evaluation or the feedback session. Okay. So every Toastmasters Club meeting begins with the sergeant at arms. Whoever is the sergeant at arms, like today, Toastmaster Faisal was the sergeant at arms. He introduced the ground rules. Okay, so he started the meeting by first, number 1, the sergeant at arms will read out the mission of the club, of a Toastmasters Club. That is, we provide a supportive and cooperative atmosphere in which members are empowered to develop leadership and communication skills, resulting in better confidence and self-development. That is the mission of a Toastmasters Club. And the sergeant at arms reads out the club mission. After reading out the club mission, he or she will read out the ground rules. What do you mean by the ground rules? Basically, in a physical meeting, we request everyone to switch off their mobile phones so that there is no interruption during the course of the meeting. We request anyone who's seated to not leave while a speaker is on stage so that there is no interruption to the speaker. And we ask the members to refrain from talking to each other when a member is on stage. This is what happens in a physical meeting. But for an online meeting, the ground rules are different. Like, do not unmute yourself unless you're talking. Remain, adjust the position of your camera and your mic before you start speaking. And these are the various ground rules that the sergeant at arms will read out. And then the third thing that he or she does is introduce the president of the club. Introduces the president of the club, gives a short introduction of the president, and then hands over the control of the meeting to the president. Next comes the president. So the president of the club, whoever he or she is. Now, let me also tell you that since our executive committee has not been formed, so in the demo meeting, it could be possible that just I or the division director or anybody would take the role of the presiding officer for that demo meeting because the executive committee has not been formed. But once the executive committee has been formed after the elections, the presiding officer, whoever he or she is, the presiding officer is the one who will lead the club meeting. So what happens? The sergeant at arms invites the presiding officer or the president to take the floor. The presiding officer or the president comes in and he or she greets everyone warmly, welcomes everyone warmly, gives a very nice introduction, and brings some positivity and motivation to the club. The most important responsibility of a president, of course, is running the whole club, keeping it under his or her check all the time. But the most important thing is to motivate the members. And the presiding officer has to do that when he comes on stage, on screen, during the club meeting. He or she will come and, okay, there's another formality that the presiding officer does. This is called a gavel. The presiding officer has the gavel with him or her. And when they start the meeting, this is how they start the meeting. And they say, I would now like to commence the meeting, or I announce the meeting open. Okay, this is how the presiding officer opens the meeting. Then he or she introduces the whole meeting to everyone and welcomes everyone warmly, says some positive words of wisdom, of care, of everything, affection to everyone. And then, most importantly, he or she welcomes the guests of the meeting. Okay, it's very important that the president addresses all the guests. So like today, we have, all of you are most welcome here, but let's say we have some What happened to my screen? Sorry. Okay, so let's say we have members who are visiting us from outside Cox's Bazar Toastmasters Club, or there are non-members who are visiting us. So the president will welcome them by their name, like Mr. Faisal Ibrahim, warm welcome to our club meeting. Mr. Rahmatul Islam Ridoy, thank you for joining our club meeting. And Toastmaster Nusrat Huda, thank you, our Area L1 director, for visiting us today. So the presiding officer will welcome all the guests, whether they are, of course, will welcome the members of the club, then welcomes the guests and welcomes the dignitaries if anyone is present. It could be the area director, the division director, mentions them by name and welcomes them all. So that's how the presiding officer opens the meeting. Finally, the presiding officer introduces the Toastmaster of the day, or he or she, the Toastmaster of the day is called the MC of the day of the show. The Toastmaster then takes over. Okay, so this is how we start a Toastmasters meeting. First the sergeant at arms, then the president, and then the Toastmaster of the day. The remaining part of the meeting is controlled by the Toastmaster of the day. Now, what does the Toastmaster of the day do, or what do the various role takers do? That is what I'm going to describe, or I and my co-presenter today, Toastmaster Rahmatul Islam Ridoy. He's also the Area L1 Program Quality Director, and he's also the Vice President Education of Chittagong University Toastmasters Club. I would request Toastmaster Rahmatul Islam Ridoy to take over from here and explain the roles of the Toastmaster of the day, grammarian, counter, timer, and table topic speakers. So Toastmaster Rahmatul Islam Ridoy, can you please take over from here?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda, for giving me the floor. Hello, everyone. Today, I will be covering four different meeting roles in that we do in our Toastmaster meeting, that are Toastmaster of the day, grammarian, counter, and the timer. So let's start with the first role, Toastmaster of the day. You can see some points in the slides. In any Toastmaster meeting, we have someone to host the meeting. So as it was, which we call Toastmaster of the day or Toastmaster of the evening. So he or she will be serving as the host or master of ceremony, or you can also compare it with an anchor. Is my sound is not clear enough?
I think you are clear, but network is some little bit problem.
You can unplug and connect it again and check.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. So in every meeting or every event, we need someone to host or serve as an anchor for the show. Likewise, in any Toastmaster meeting, we have a role which is called Toastmaster of the day, and this when you are taking the role of Toastmaster of the day, you will be the host or MC for that meeting. So the primary responsibility for this role is to coordinate and organize and to conduct the whole meeting. So you can call it just the meeting is yours. So so as the meeting is yours, you will always strive for making your meeting among one of the best among all of your club meetings. You cannot do this job alone, and you can only do this job. You can only make your meeting a successful. I don't know. First person, Nusrat, is there any problem with my audio?
It's okay. I think you can continue. It's okay.
I'm
Continue,
seeing
because
something
I
in
think
chat.
this is a yeah, this is the problem with the software. Sometimes when we upgrade the software, this problem happens. Okay, just
Okay,
continue, no problem.
okay. So I'm talking about when you are the host of a meeting, or you are responsible to conduct a meeting. It is your meeting, so you cannot create a successful meeting alone. You need the help. You need to take help from other people, such as vice president education of your club, general evaluator. So your vice president education will do for Toastmaster of the day is you will assign the speakers and other role takers, and you will also assist him to assigning these roles, such as the speakers, evaluators, table topic master, and there are many other roles. And he will give you the agenda that will be followed in the meeting. And when the roles are assigned, the speakers, the evaluators, and all of the roles are assigned, it is your responsibility as a host of the meeting, with taking the help from general evaluator, to make sure that all of your role takers and participants are well aware of their responsibilities in the meeting. Because your role takers or the participants who are joining in the meeting, they can deliver their best only when they know what they are supposed to do. And as the host of the meeting, it is your responsibility to make them aware of responsibilities. So there are some roles as the Toastmaster of the day prior to the meeting, such as which I have already talked about, such as helping vice president education in assigning roles, briefing, or talking with the other role takers. And you also need to collect the introduction for each of the speakers and evaluators and other role takers, because in the meeting, when you will be the one to give floor to one person to another person. For example, you will be the one who will introduce your speaker to the audience, table topic master to the audience, and the general evaluator to the audience. So you will be the one who runs the show. But in a Toastmaster meeting, when someone is delivering his speech, the audience might not be, they might not know the person who is, might not have the idea who is what he is going to talk about. So as the Toastmaster of the day, you will give an introduction to each of the speakers and role takers about what they do, or what they like to do, what is their occupation, or what is their speech topic. So this sort of thing, you'll give an introduction for each of the speakers and role takers. That is your responsibility. The purpose of this introduction is to create a connection between the speaker and the audience. And the responsibility is yours to create the connection. I'm giving you an example of how you can give an introduction at Toastmaster of the day. For example, our first speaker is Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. So I'm introducing herself to the audience. Today, our first speaker is Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. Before going to her speech, I would like to call her evaluator to read out the project objectives. Then Toastmaster Nusrat Huda's evaluator will come and read out the project objectives. Then I will, as a Toastmaster of the day, I will read out the introduction for Toastmaster Nusrat. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster Nusrat is serving as the Area L1 Director, District 41. She was also the past president of Chittagong Toastmaster Club 2019 and 20. She was also the first runner-up of Humorous Speech Contest District 41 2018 and 19. Her speech title is Alive. Alive, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. So over to Toastmaster Nusrat Huda. That is how you can, this is an example how you can introduce your speaker to the audience. So the speaker is not unknown to your audience anymore. Then one of the most important thing that a Toastmaster should be responsible for is ensuring the meeting is running smoothly. So to make it very simple, how can you run the show very smoothly? The answer is just following the agenda. You will be given an meeting agenda by your Vice President of Education, where the order, the timing for each of the speakers will be noted. And you will just, as a Toastmaster of the day, you will just follow that agenda, and you are responsible to maintain the timing and the order of the meeting agenda. So when you are able to, when you are maintaining the meeting agenda, there is no reason that there will be any disruption in the meeting smoothness. Let me give you an example. Sometimes it happens in online meeting that our role takers got disconnected. For example, the general evaluator got disconnected while he was introducing the grammarian or accountant or timer. So as the Toastmaster of the day, you will be the one who will take over in the replacement of general evaluator in this case, because it is your show. You cannot make your show suddenly stopped for some network issues. There is the possibility. It is possible for you to run the show for the general evaluator. So then you will be the one who will introduce the grammarian, accountant, and other roles. So this is one example how you can make the meeting smooth. So I think in the Toastmaster of the day, when you are also your responsibility. I think it is the most important part for a Toastmaster of the day is keeping the energy high among your audience, because as the Toastmaster of the day, you sets the tone for the meeting. If you are enthusiastic, if you are energetic, your audience will reflect the same. Okay, so when you are demonstrating enthusiasm and energetic and creating a vibration among the meeting, your audience will show the same energy, and in result you will get a very lively meeting. So as the Toastmaster of the day, you need to keep the meeting energy high every time. So let's and there are also many skills that you will get from the Toastmaster of the day by performing Toastmaster of the day role, such as planning, organization, time management. You can see all these skills in the slides. So I'm not speaking anymore on it. So that was the Toastmaster of the day. So let's move on to our next role, grammarian. Can you see the slide of grammarian? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Well, the second role is grammarian. We have our goal is to be a better public speaker, is to effective speaker. But one of the things that we need to focus on is that our language uses is proper and appropriate. And we do not know whether we are using improper languages. We cannot evaluate ourselves. We cannot keep track of the language we are using while we are talking. So for that reason, we have a grammarian in each of the Toastmaster meeting whose job is to keep track of the language uses of each of the speakers, evaluators, and other and table topic speakers. As a grammarian, when you are doing a role, when taking the role of grammarian, you will be the one to look into the languages of the throughout the meeting. Along with that, you will also introduce a word of the day to the audience to enrich the vocabulary of the audience. And you will also keep track who are using the word of the day and who are not. So you will mention the names who use the word of the day at the end of the meeting to encourage the use of the word of the day, so that people practice a new word in each of the meeting. As a grammarian, you will look into the language, not only the improper uses. You will also note and observe the exceptional uses of grammar, such as a beautiful phrase that was someone used, a beautiful sentence someone used, or a beautiful word that someone used. You will note and observe all of those things and report it when at the end of the meeting, the general evaluator call you. So when you are taking the role of general grammarian, you are a member of the general evaluator team, which is called evaluation team. So at the beginning of the meeting, the general evaluator will call you and you will take the floor and you will explain your role, what your job will be throughout the meeting. Because many of the person in the audience might not aware of what a grammarian does mean. So as the grammarian, you will explain your role at the beginning of the meeting when general evaluator calls you, and then you will go and take the observation and note the observations that you have found all from in the speeches or evaluation of all the speakers. And at the end of the meeting, you will be again called upon by the general evaluator to share your report. And you will again come into the floor and come into the lecture and take the floor. You will share the reports that you have observed throughout the meeting. When you are sharing a report, it is recommended that not only just sharing the improper use. As the grammarian, you will also give the correction. What could be the proper use? So that is how the grammarian role is done in a Toastmaster. As I was talking, there are also two other roles, accounter and timer, in a team of a general evaluator. So accounter, grammarian, and timer, these three person works under the team, in the team of the general evaluator. These are often called as tag team, or sometimes these are called leadership roles. So let's move on to the accounter. Accounter is one of the most enjoyable role in Toastmaster, because we often use some words such as post fillers, such as so, but you know. So these are the words that we use in our speeches. And many times we don't know what repetition we are using, or what inappropriate interjection we are using, or what and if we don't know about if we are using any inappropriate pauses, or how many times we are using these words. So this needs to be tracked. This is tracked by the accounter. As the accounter, you will note all of these words in the meeting. Likewise, in the grammarian, you will be called by the general evaluator at the beginning of the meeting. Then you will come and lecture and explain your role to everyone. You will say about, for example, I'm giving an example how you can explain your role as an accounter. Hello everyone. Today, I'm taking the role of accounter. As the accounter, my role is to note down the crutches and pause fillers that you will use in your speeches. Words may be like or words could be interjections, such words could be like so, but, and that. So these are, so I will be the one to look into these things throughout the meeting, and I will come back again at the end of the meeting. So that is how you can explain the role, or explain your role. And at the end of the meeting, you will again be called upon by your general evaluator to share your report. And you will share your report how many times. For example, Toastmaster Nusrat used 3 times in her speech, 4 times in her speech. Toastmaster Faisal, 2 times repetition of the word works in his speech. Toastmaster Ridoy, 3 repetitions in his speech. So that is how you will share your report at the end of the meeting. So let's move on to so that is the accounter role, and you will also get to know, you get to learn several skills by performing accounter roles, such as you will be a better listener. trust me, you will be a better listener, because when you need to observe and note very specific words like as, pauses between the speeches, so you need to be a better listener. You can't be, you need to learn to listen to the people. And you will, and there are also other skills such as evaluation and providing effective feedback. When you will get to learn these skills when you are playing the role of a counter. The last role in the tech team, timer. We expect an effective speaker to finish his speech, to express his thoughts within the time, within the allotted time. But is it possible for us to know if we are exceeding our time, if we are not covering the thoughts of our time within allotted time? It is not possible for us to know by ourselves. We need someone to help us to keep track of our timing. And the role of the timer is to do this job. He will help us to know if we are exceeding our time, how much time we left to finish up, wrap up our speech. And this will be done by several ways. In any Toastmaster meeting, the time is limited for everyone, for speakers, for evaluators, for table topic speaker, everyone. For a prepared speakers, if you're delivering a prepared speech, you will get 5 to 7 minutes. If you're delivering a evaluation, you will get 2 to 3 minutes. And if you are speaking in the table topic session, you will get 1 to 2 minutes. And you need to finish your speech within this time limit. And the timer will be there to let you know if you are exceeding your time. And when you are doing the role of a timer, you need to be very careful on that. Because if you fail to let other people know, other speaker know of their timing, they will exceed the timing and your meeting will not be finished within the time. So it is very important for the timer to track the timing of the speakers and the evaluators very carefully. When you are playing the role of a timer, likewise, a counter and the grammarian will be called upon by the general evaluator at the beginning of the meeting. You will come at the lectern and explain your role. For example, you can say, today I'm taking the role of timer. As a timer, I will keep track of the timing that you will keep record of the timing that you will need in your speeches. In prepared speech, you will get 5 to 7 minutes. In table topic speech, you will get 2 to 3 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, and in evaluation, you will get 2 to 3 minutes. But as a timer, you have other roles. You have another role to perform. If you look at the picture in the slide, the man is, there is a timing card in the man's hand. So we use these types of card when we are conducting physical meetings. We show the speakers green, red, yellow cards. For example, for a prepared speakers, Toastmaster Nusrat Huda is sharing her video. If you can see, she is sharing the green card.
Yes.
So
I have the timer cards with me.
When it will be 6 minutes, I will show the yellow cards. When it will be 7 minutes, I will show the red cards. Likewise, the Toastmaster Nusrat is sharing. So that we do in the physical meeting. But in online meeting, the thing is a bit difficult, sharing the paper card in the video. So what we do, we share green light, yellow light, or red light throughout by screen share. So that is how we share the timer card to the speakers. So when you are explaining what is your role as the timer, you can say, for prepared speaker, at the 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At the 6 minutes, I will show the yellow cards. At the 7 minutes, I will show the red card. And so that you are doing it because your speakers might not be might not be comfortable with the way you are letting him know about the timing. So when you are explaining your role it, prior to the speech or the evaluations at the very beginning, so the speakers will get to know how they are going to be notified about their timing. And when the speakers are delivering their speeches, as the timer, you will keep track. You will note down the timing they require. When a speaker reach, for example, when a prepared speaker is reaching 5 minutes, you will show the green card. Is reaching at 6 minutes, you will show the yellow cards. At 7 minutes, you will show the red card. And you will note down the time required for the time each of the speakers took in their speeches. And at the end of the meeting, the general evaluator will call you again, and you will share the timing that each of the speaker and evaluators or the role takers took for their speeches. So that is how the timer role is being done. That ends the tag team, and then we have the table topic speaker. Well, we have 3 different segments in a Toastmaster meeting. That is better speaking, better listening, and better thinking. Better speaking is prepared speech session, and better listening is evaluation session. But the better thinking is table topic speech session. The purpose of this session is to enable our speaker, enable our members to give the opportunity so that they can learn the skill of impromptu speaking. They can practice the skill of impromptu speaking in the club meetings. So in a table topic session, let me just tell you how the table topic session is conducted. There is a table topic master for each of the meeting. The table topic master first introduced by the by the Toastmaster. Then the table topic master takes over, and he or she explains the table topic session, what does it mean, what is the purpose, and how long you will get to speak in each of the table topic in each of the speech slot. In the table topic session, the table topic master can call anyone from the audience. In the prepared speech session, the speakers are pre-assigned, but in table topic session, no one knows who is going to be the speaker. The table topic master chooses it from the audience list, and then, for example, then he calls upon the first speaker, and then after calling a speaker, he gives a topic to that speaker. Then, after getting the topic, the speaker gets 30 seconds to think over the topic, to organize his or her thoughts. And then the speaker is given 1 to 2 minutes to express his thoughts and ideas. As a table topic speaker, if you are called upon as a table topic speaker, you need to speak for at least 1 minute, and you need to wrap up your speech within 2 minutes. And you will get 30 seconds to think over the topic. The purpose of this whole structure is we can all speak on any topic for 1 minute to 2 minutes. It is not that tough, but within 2 minutes, is it better now?
It's better when you keep when you keep the mic closer to the mouth. It's better.
What I was talking about, the purpose of the table topic session, the whole structure is all of us can speak on any topic for 1 minute to 2 minutes. 1 minute to 2 minutes. But the problem is that many of us are not quite expert or quite effective on organizing our thoughts and express them effectively within 2 minutes. So the task is very challenging in the table topic session, And through the table topic session, getting the topic and speak on that topic and delivering a speech, 2-minute speech within this allotted time is a bit challenging. And through this speech, we get to learn impromptu speaking abilities and time management, because many times we often cross the time limits. We are speaking for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, because we are not able to cover our thoughts within the allotted time. But as a table topic, in a table topic session, it is giving us the opportunity to practice covering our thoughts, expressing our thoughts within a very limited time. So that is how the table topic session is done. And as a table topic speaker, you will be you'll be speaking in that manner I have mentioned earlier. So that was all from my part. I would like to hand over the floor over to Toastmaster Nusrat Huda for discussing other roles on the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Nusrat.
Okay, thank you very much, Toastmaster Ramatul Islam Ridoy, for your wonderful sessions on the Toastmaster of the Day and the tag team, which is the timer, grammarian, counter, and then finally you spoke about the table topic speaker. Now let me move to the next role. Okay. Yes. So the topics master. Can I be put on spotlight by the moderator? Okay, I think I'm on spotlight. The topics master is the next role. Toastmaster Faisal, can I be on spotlight? I don't see myself. Yes, I think now it's okay. Okay,
You
thank
are
you.
spotlighted.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so what I was saying is the topics master is as Toastmaster Ridoy has already explained the role of the table topics master. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but the table topic master definitely has to prepare some interesting, very nice and funny topics if possible. So he or she needs to prepare at least a list of, let's say, 6 to 8 table topic questions. Now it depends on the length of the meeting as well. Let's say a meeting has about 3 speakers, okay, 3 prepared speakers, or there's an educational session which is like about 15 minutes long and there are 3 speakers. So in that case, the table topic master will prepare just about 4 table topics. So they keep the table topic session short. But if there are just 2 speakers, you can have a table topic session for, let's say, 5 to 6 topics or even more. Okay. So what does the table topic master do usually? He or she can prepare random topics for different members, or they can prepare topics based on the theme of the meeting. So we usually have a theme in every Toastmasters meeting, like it could be the first day of your life, the first day of school, or the first day. You know, the first day can be a theme of the meeting. So the table topic master would probably select topics based on the theme. So the first day is the theme. So he or she will call one member and say, okay, please explain the first day of your school, or the first day you ever stepped into school. Can you describe the first day of your school? So that could be a question to one member. Then for another member, it could be, please describe the first day of work, or the first day you stepped into your office. For another person, it could be the first day of your married life, the first day of your university life. Okay, so based on the theme, the table topic master can prepare some topics, or he or she can decide to select any random topic for any random members. But whatever it is, he or she needs to ensure that when they are announcing the topic is very loud and clear for the member to understand. So when you announce the topic, you wait for a second and you ask the member to come to screen, give them the topic loud and clear. If the member does not understand your topic, he or she may ask you to repeat the question. You repeat it for him or her, and then give them 30 seconds to think, and then they speak for 1 to 2 minutes. That's how the Toastmaster table topic master prepares the topics and gives to the speakers. Now, another important thing is the table topic master needs to assign topics to non-role takers. What we do as table topic master is that, let's say in a meeting, there are various roles, right? But maybe all 20 members will not get to take part in those roles. There are some members who would probably not get a chance to play any role in that meeting. So the table topic master needs to note down who are these members who did not get to play any role. Let's say did not get to do any speeches, did not get to do any of those tag team roles, no roles. So for that, he or she will ask those non-role takers to take part in the table topic section or the table topic segment. So first preference should be given to non-role takers. Second preference should be given to, let's say, role players who have played small roles like the tag team, could be the accountant, could be the grammarian. Okay, so he or she can call those role players. But it's better to avoid calling role players who have major roles like the Toastmaster of the day or the general evaluator or prepared speaker. So better to avoid calling those members to talk on this various topics or in the table topic section. Better to call members who do not have any role or who are playing small roles. And also he or she can ask the guests, would any of our wonderful guests like to volunteer in the table topic segment? So if any guest is willing to participate, he or she can invite the guest also as the table topic speaker. So this role actually will enhance your leadership, planning, time management, and motivational skills as well. A very interesting role to play. Let's go to the next. Next row, yeah. Speaker, okay, prepared speaker. Like Toastmaster Rahmatul Islam has already said, we have 3 segments: better speaking, better thinking, and better listening. So better speaking is the prepared speeches segment. So a speaker, what a speaker needs to do is prepare a speech according to the guidelines, project objectives that have been given to him or her by Toastmasters International. So when you first become a member, you will get access to all the resources of Toastmasters International. So your first speech, the first speech of any Toastmaster is called the icebreaker. The icebreaker is what you all are going to start with. So let's say in the demo meeting, if you, one of you or 2 of you are willing to give speeches, you will start with the icebreaker. What is the icebreaker? The icebreaker is nothing but talking about yourself, about your life, about your journey so far. And the time duration for an icebreaker is just 4 to 6 minutes. So Toastmasters makes you start with a very easy topic. A very easy topic to go with. So the first speech of any Toastmaster is an icebreaker. So what do you do as a speaker? Prepare the speech in advance, rehearse as many times as possible, come to the stage, and before that, before delivering your speech, you must discuss with your evaluator. Every speaker is assigned an evaluator, okay? So the speaker needs to talk to the evaluator in advance. Let's say my evaluator for today is Toastmaster Rezaul Ahmed, okay? So I will speak to my evaluator, Toastmaster Rezaul. I hope you know that I'm doing level 3 speech 2. I hope you know that I hope you have received my evaluation form. I hope you know what are my project objectives. So I will discuss these with the evaluator. Make sure that the evaluator knows which project he or she is evaluating. Okay, so discuss with evaluator, then receive feedback from the evaluator. After my speech is complete, my role is to receive feedback from my evaluator and implement that feedback into my next speech, upcoming speech. So as a speaker, I have lots of responsibilities. Of course, going through the guidelines is number 1. Never deliver speeches outside your project objectives. This is very, very important. Go through the objectives given by Toastmasters International. Many a times what our members do, many members do, is that they deliver speeches as per their wish. They do not look at the guidelines that has been given. Let's say it's this, the topic is researching and presenting. You have to research on a topic and present your speech. But our members don't mention any facts, any data, any statistics based on their research. They do not mention any quotations based on their research, and they just deliver a speech on whatever they like. That is not the way to deliver a speech in Toastmasters. What we need to do is read the objectives that have been given for our speeches, prepare according to the objectives, rehearse, and then come and deliver the speech. Okay, next role, evaluator. This is a very, very important role. And why we say important? Because evaluations is what makes us better, perform better in every single meeting. So every speaker, let's say there are 3 speakers in a Toastmasters meeting, 3 speakers will have 3 evaluators assigned to them. And every evaluator has certain objectives or roles and responsibilities. Let's go through them. First and foremost, the evaluator needs to discuss the objectives with the speaker. Like I said, the speaker needs to discuss with the evaluator needs to discuss with the speaker. So the evaluator will ensure that, okay, today my target speaker is Toastmaster Nusrat. Okay, so Toastmaster Nusrat, what are your speech objectives? Which project are you doing? You're doing level 2. Okay, what is your speech title? Okay, what are you going to talk about? Thank you very much. Okay, so some kind of communication is very important between the evaluator and the speaker. The evaluator needs to know what he or she is going to evaluate. The evaluator needs to have the evaluation form in advance and go through the evaluation form in advance and then prepare for the evaluation and then come and deliver the evaluation. That's very important. So discuss the objectives with the speaker. Second, provides verbal and written feedback. 2 kinds of feedback. Every evaluator gets an evaluation form. Okay, we are going to provide all the resources required for your demo meeting. We will upload all of them. You will know what kind of evaluation form you need to fill up as an evaluator. So the evaluator will not just give a verbal feedback, but also write and fill up that evaluation form and send it to the speaker. If it's a physical meeting, he or she will give the hard copy to the speaker, and if it's an online meeting, he or she will fill up the soft copy and mail it to the speaker. So evaluator must do these things. Definitely should not, both verbal and written feedback is a must. Offers praise and constructive criticism. Now, how does one evaluate? This is very, very important. Now, as an evaluator, you are going to offer some criticism. It will be constructive, but more than that, you need to offer praise. Okay, now the format that we follow for any evaluation, we call it the CRC method. It's called commendation, recommendation, and commendation. So what we do is we start positively. We start by mentioning the positive aspects of a speaker. That is, well done. You have selected a very good speech topic. The topic complemented your speech content, complemented your speech title. The way you began, you had a very interesting, catchy opening. You started with a personal story which hooked up the audience. Your body language was positive, your hand gestures were visible, and you were very confident. So you start positively, start with praises. Then you go to constructive criticism. Okay, what are the points of improvement? Now, when I'm going to talk about the improvement, I'm not going to say, you had so many positives, but unfortunately, you made a lot of mistakes. No, never use any negative word as an evaluator. Even when you are giving a criticism, even when you are giving a feedback, I think someone has unmuted themselves. Kindly mute yourself, please. Moderator, please look into this. So when you are offering criticism, you need to ensure that the criticism is also said in a positive manner. For instance, okay, I noticed that you were very confident while speaking. However, I felt that your eye contact with the audience could have been better. I felt that you could have used a prop, or let's say supporting material in your speech. I love the way you started off with a personal story. However, if you would have added, let's say, a quotation from a famous author, or if you would have added a few more data into your speech. What is the problem? Okay. Yes. So if you add a bit more of data into your speech, a bit more, if you would have used a bit more of vocal variety into your speech, then your speech would have gone to the next level. However, I love the way you ended your speech with that wonderful line that you said in the end. So you see, I'm giving feedback to the member, but the member will not feel like, oh, she is demotivating me. Okay, she's giving me feedback, but the way she's saying this is really negative. No, never use any negative word as an evaluator. So it's very important that the evaluator's role is something that we suggest a member who has some experience to take up, like he or she has observed a couple of meetings, he or she has observed a couple of roles, and then take up this role, because an evaluator can make or break a speaker. One word, one negative word from you as an evaluator will demotivate the speaker, and the speaker will not want to speak ever again. It can happen, and it has happened. So it's very important that evaluators are very sensitive to what they are saying. Okay, so when you are offering praise, you need to offer praise in a positive manner. Ensure that the speaker is not feeling bad about the feedback that you're giving. Again, when you are giving any feedback, make sure that your feedback is very specific. Let's say you could have improved vocal variety. Where in your speech could have you improved vocal variety? Be specific, give examples. As an evaluator, give examples. Let's say, okay, so when you were talking about, when you were having a conversation with your father, you could have used a different tone for your father and a different tone for yourself. That would have been more interesting for the audience, or that could have added a bit elements of humor to your speech. You know, give specific examples of how they can improve. So as an evaluator, your role is not just to give feedback, positive feedback, but also give constructive criticism, and ensure that even the constructive criticism is given in a positive manner. This is a skill that takes years, even meetings and meetings, to practice, and finally we are able to master this. So this is a very important skill that we learn. We learn the art of critical thinking and providing feedback and motivation by being an evaluator. Okay, now let's go to the next role. Okay, the general evaluator. The general evaluator briefs the evaluators and auxiliary role players. Auxiliary role players or tag team members. So who is the general evaluator? Let's first say, okay, in the general evaluator is someone who evaluates anything and everything in the meeting. Our speech evaluators just evaluate the speakers. The general evaluator evaluates everything that takes place in the meeting, starting from the sergeant at arms. Okay, so the general evaluator will start from the sergeant at arms. Okay, the sergeant at arms opening was excellent, but you forgot to mention the club mission. Okay, please, the next time, I hope you will announce the club mission as well. Then the president, what a fabulous opening you had. Congratulations, you were very motivating and encouraging to all our members. However, if you would have also addressed the dignitaries, it would have been perfect. Okay, so the general evaluator starts evaluating everything that takes place in the meeting, starting with the sergeant at arms, the president, all the role players. Speakers have already been evaluated. So the general evaluator does not say much in detail about the speakers, but still, the general evaluator, if the general evaluator has something to speak about the speakers, he will mention that as well. Speakers, timer, counter, grammarian. These are the three role players who are part of the tag team. Okay, the timer, counter, and grammarian. So the general evaluator has a team, the tag team, that is the timer, counter, and grammarian, and the three evaluators or the two evaluators. They come under the general evaluator. They come under the general evaluator. Okay, so the general evaluator will come to the stage first. in the beginning of the meeting, and he or she will introduce all the role players, the tag team members. Who is the accounter today? Timer and grammarian. He is going to introduce the timer, accounter, and grammarian for that meeting. Then the general evaluator will evaluate everything that happens in the meeting, and at the end of the meeting, he will introduce the evaluators one by one. The evaluators will come and give their report. Then the general evaluator calls the tag team members, that is the timer, accounter, and grammarian. They deliver their reports. After all the reports are delivered, the general evaluator will deliver his or her report. Now, what are the things that the general evaluator includes in his report? As I said, starting from all the role players to what is the meeting timing? When did we start the meeting? Did we start the meeting on time? Did we finish the meeting on time? What was happening throughout the meeting? Did we have any technical issues? Did we have any disturbances? How did our moderators perform? How did all the role takers perform? How did the table topic master do? How did the Toastmaster of the day perform? Everything the general evaluator will note and report in his or her report at the end of the meeting. Okay, so this is also another role which takes a bit of experience, and we do not suggest new members to right away take up general evaluator. So I hope that if we are having a demo meeting, probably maybe the general evaluator's role would be played by another club members, so that you get used to it. Okay, these are roles which we would want you all to observe in the first couple of meetings and then take up gradually. So this is what happens as a general evaluator. Next. Okay, so we are done with all the roles. We are done with all the major roles. So what were those roles again? The Toastmaster of the day. Okay, these were the roles: the Toastmaster, grammarian, accounter, timer, the table topic speaker, topics master, speakers or the prepared speakers, evaluator, and general evaluator. These were the various roles that we got to see. Now, I'm not going to explain much about the Pathways learning experience. We don't have that much of time. We were supposed to do only about roles and responsibilities, but just a quick glance. As soon as you become members, I hope yesterday you've attended a Pathways training. I'm not sure how much beneficial that was to all of you, because I felt that that training was a bit advanced. For all of you, we need to do another training, probably from the basics, how you can select your path, how you can access your path, how you can start your Toastmasters journey. That's what we will teach you. Maybe we will have another session on that. But let me just quickly go through the 11 paths that you will get to choose from. Dynamic leadership. I will just scroll by. You can just have a quick glance. What are the basic features of each pathway? What are the things that you can get to choose from? Like, what are the things that you work on if you select that path? Dynamic leadership, effective coaching. Okay, the kind of skills that you learn from effective coaching. Then let's go to engaging humor. Over here, you can see only public speaking and speech writing are the two things that you work on. Innovative planning is a very popular pathway. I myself have selected innovative planning. You learn a lot about project management here. Then leadership development mainly focuses on public speaking, interpersonal communication, and strategic leadership. Motivational strategies. You learn how to be a motivational leader here. You learn main skills that you get are public speaking, interpersonal communication, management. If you're into the management field, you can go for this. Persuasive influence. Leading in complex situations is something that you learn from persuasive influence. Presentation mastery, the only thing you learn here is public speaking. If you just want to focus on public speaking, you go for presentation mastery. Strategic relationships, you learn some networking. You learn how to network with different kind of people. Yes, Toastmaster Faisal Ibrahim would like to say something. Toastmaster Faisal. Okay, I'll just make him the host. All right, so strategic relationships, you get to learn about public speaking, interpersonal communication and management. Team collaboration, you know how to work amongst teams. Collaborative leadership is what you learn there. Visionary communication is another important pathway. Innovative communication is what you learn here. So when you select your pathway, you will how long it takes to finish one particular pathway. As you see, there are 5 levels, and each level has around 3 to 4 projects. So a pathway may take from it could take 6 months, it could take 1 year, depending on whether you are regularly in every single meeting. If you're getting a chance to deliver a speech, then you might even finish within 6 months. But that's very rare to happen because you are having so many members in your club, and every member does not get the chance to be a speaker or does not get to do a project in every meeting. So by rotation, you're going to do your projects. So it will take, depends on how long it takes that way, okay? So if you want to go fast, you have to get a speech slot in every meeting. That's how it is. There's no fixed time actually. It can take 1 year, it can take 2 years. It depends on how, it depends on the pace at which you are going, okay? It can take even less than 1 year. So visionary okay, so these are the various pathways that are there. And once you become a Toastmaster, once your charter membership process is completed, Toastmasters will offer you all these 11 tracks, and you can select whichever track you want to choose, okay? Now, a bit about leadership opportunities.
We can take some questions about meeting roles.
Yes, I have a question answer session. Yes, I will go to Q&A just after I finish this one. Okay, so leadership opportunities, I just want to say a very quick thing about leadership opportunities is because since all of you are going to run for elections, by majority, the club has decided that you will go for election as to form the Charter Executive Committee. So let me tell you what are the leadership opportunities. A Toastmasters club begins with members. Members move to clubs. Members form clubs. Clubs form areas. Areas form division. Division forms districts. Districts form regions, and regions form the International Board of Directors. Okay, so now at the member level, members form clubs. So at the club level, you have the opportunity to gain experience in officer roles, which are president, VP Ed, VP member, VP PR, secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. When you go to area or division, you get to be the area director or division director. Of course, the criteria to be an area director here, we prefer someone who has done a leadership role in the club level, okay? Then the division director requires you to be an area director first. So you cannot just jump from one stage to another. You have to climb the ladder one step at a time. And when you go to the district, you have very higher posts there, from starting with district director, program quality director, club goods director, finance manager, administration manager, region advisor, and the international director. Okay, this is the structure of a Toastmasters leadership that we have. Now is the time for question answer, and now it's just open floor. I would want all of you to participate in the discussion. It's not just Q&A. We can go for an open discussion now if you want to. So if any of you have any questions, you can raise your hand. You can ask anything you like about meeting roles. If you want to ask about meeting roles, about meeting procedures, or anything else. Please raise your hand. Use the raise hand icon, or you can even write the question in the chat box if you want to. You can write question. Okay, Imon Hassan Bhai, please.
Hello, Apu. Good evening.
Good evening.
Could we have the previous meetings record that happened last night? Pathway.
Last night. Pathway.
Sorry, last day. Yeah.
Yes. Pathways recording. I think it was there on Facebook Live. I will share the live recording with all of you. Okay.
Thank you, Apu.
Okay. Any questions? Anything you all want to talk about? This is the time to get to know each other, because we need to also know each other. Okay, and 26th, if we are having a demo meeting on 26th, you think you all can take up meeting roles, right? We are going to, of course, give you all the guidelines how we can go about doing this. And we would want all of you to participate as role players. Okay, so what do you suggest? I would like to ask if anyone would want to give any suggestion, like for the demo meeting on 26th, how we fill up the role players, how we fill up the role takers' names. Usually what we do in a Toastmasters club is we have an agenda. We prepare an agenda and then we float the agenda, and whoever fills up the agenda on a first come first served basis gets that role. That's how the VP Ed floats the agenda. But for this particular meeting, what would you suggest we do? Anyone would like to say anything? 26th, Saturday, 8 p.m. That is exactly 1 week's time. So if I say, if I ask at least 2 of you to prepare an icebreaker speech, will you be willing to do it? Unfortunately, no, Imon Bhai, we can't have it on 25th because there are other meetings that have been scheduled on 25th. So that's the reason why we have chosen 26th. This is Saturday. Okay, then we can discuss about anything else anyone wants to talk about then. Nobody is interested to talk, but you need to get to know each other if you want to. Okay, Ikram Bhai has already suggested his name for an icebreaking speech. That's great. Wonderful. Then we have already one icebreaker. So what I was thinking is let's talk to each other, because we need to be introduced to each other, right? So I would go one by one. Let's go one by one. Okay, Ikram Bhai, please introduce yourself to everyone. Let's talk. Ikram Bhai, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Actually, it's unfortunate that we are attending the meeting, but still we don't know each other, especially for this Coxsbazar club. So it's better actually if we try to introduce each other, and because ultimately we will run the club in next days. So my name is Ikramuddin. Actually, I am working in an international NGO. It's called International Union for Conservation of Nature. So actually, mainly I'm working on conservation, and my background is also natural resource management. I did my graduation from University of Chittagong. I